एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निरभਉ निर्वैर अकाल मूर्त अजूनी सहभंग गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है पी सच नानक होसी पी सच एक अद्वितीय गुरु नानक देव ओंकार गुरु अंगद पेवा सतनाम गुरु अमर प्यारे करता रामदास गुरबानी पुरख श्री अर्जन सुखदानी निरभਉ हर गोबिंद गुण खानी निर्वैर गुरु है श्री हर राय अकाल मूर्त हर कृष्ण त्याय अजूनी तेग बहादुर राय सहपांग गुर दसमें सहाय गुर प्रसाद ग्रंथ गुर ज्ञान वाहिगुरु बंदन भगवान गुरु ग्रंथ कल जुग पयो श्री गुरु रूप महान दस पातशाह एह रूप है गुरु ग्रंथ जी जान पूरन देखियो आत्मा द्वैत सर्व निवार पै शांत मन शांत तिन पद नमो हमार मुँह कूचरे शस्त्र खट पेंगरन छट जाए अंध लिखे बदरोसन जो काल कृपा कराए कहाँ बुद्ध प्रभु तुझ हमारी बरन सके मैं माँ जो तहारी हम ना सकता से तुम्हारी आप ले हो तुम कथा सदारी सो कहो टल गुर सेविय ऐन सहज सुभाए दर्शन परसिय गुरु के जन्म मरण दुख जाए दर्शन परसिय गुरु के जन्म मरण दुख जाए वाहिगुरु
सतनाम श्री वाहिगुरु साहिब जी थाप्या ना जाए कीता ना होए आपे आप निरंजन सोए जिन सेव्या तिन पाया मान नानक गाविय गुनी निदान गाविय सुनिय मन रखिय पाओ दुख पार हर सुख कर लै जाए गुरमुख नादन गुरमुख वेदन गुरमुख रहया समाई गुर ईसर गुर गोरख बर्मा गुर पार्वती माई जे हो जाना आखा नाही कहना कथन न जाए गुरा एक देह बुझाई सबना जिया का एक दाता सो मैं विसर न जाए
वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह गुरु रूप साध संग जी वाहिगुरु जी खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह. We are recommencing the Japji Sahib Katha that has been going on for some time now. We have now hit the fifth body of the Sri Japji Sahib, which is a discourse and a question and answer session between Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji and the Sidhs and the Sikhs and the later Gurus as well. There are comparative and various definitions given for each body. We've given those for the first four. The first four body are basically based on the emergence of the Jeev with Ishwar, on the emergence of the Atma with Paramatma. It is gaining divine realization and becoming one with God. And now, what happens here is the Sidhs are still asking the questions to Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji, and they now want to ask the questions about who is this Paramatma, who is this God that Guru Nanak Dev Ji is talking about. And they start off with a couple of questions. And they say, look, there are 6 questions we have to ask you about God. And the first one is, it says, within here, it says Nadi. Is God Nadi? And the second one is God Bindi. The word Nadi means Nad. Nad is the term used for a vibration or a word. And here it's asking, is God created from the Holy Word? And then the second question is Bindi. Bindi here is where we say a person is born from offspring, from parents, and the offspring is from them. Is God born in the same way? Does God have parents? These are the first 2 questions asked by the Sidhs. There are 6 questions in total. It's basically a collection of 3 sets of questions. So that's the first set of questions. The second question that they ask about Vaheguru Paramatma is, they say, is he Satantar or is he Putantar? Now, the term Satantar means independent, and the term Putantar means dependent. Is God independent from everything that's going on, or is God dependent upon everything that's going on? So that's the second question asked by the Sidhs. So they want to know whether he's one or the other. And the third one is, again, it's 2 questions. And it says, is Vaheguru Maya Mala Sahed? So that says, is God created through the illusion of Maya? Is it Maya that is the cause of the illusion of God, the creation of God? Or is Vaheguru Sudha? Is Vaheguru pure and he is completely negated from the illusion of Maya? He is separate to it and he's created prior to it. He has nothing to do with the illusion of God. So Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji sat there and he's asked a number of these questions. And the first thing that's asked is God Nadi or Bindi? And here we can talk about a person within Sikhi, we can talk about both. The Gurus from one to another have been either Nadi or Bindi. If you look at Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji to Guru Gobind Singh Ji, Guru Gobind Singh Ji were both. They were Nadi and Bindi. They were the offspring of Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji. So they're Bindi Roop. And they're Nadi Roop because the Naam Avastha they were given is what was there. Today we have the Naam Avastha, which is given to us through Panch Pyare. And that makes us Nadi Roop. We are the offspring through Nadi. So this is why when a person takes Amrita, they say, my parents are Sri Guru Gobind Singh Ji and Mata Sahib Deva or Mata Sahib Kaur. So they always say these two names. This is the parents of myself. I have taken the Amrit and these are my parents. And then the second, like I said, is the parents that you are actually born from. So you can say Nadi Roop is Sri Guru Gobind Singh Ji and Mata Sahib Deva. And obviously you say Bindi Roop and you give the names of your two parents. So that's what they're asking here. And they're saying to Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji, this Vaheguru that you have talked about, tell us about him. Is he one or the other? And Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji reply,
Tapya na jai.
Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji say, look, Sidhs, in the way that a devotee is given a seat of authority, is not the way that God is given a seat of authority. God is not given a throne by another person. God is not placed on a throne by another person. God has not been created from the passing of a holy word as well. So, through somebody else's holy word has not been the creation of Vaheguru. Vaheguru is self-created. And we've said that already. Sahibang, he is self-created. And in the same way, people can put forward theories that somebody has placed God upon a throne. But who is that person? Where is he? This, the difference you have between the theory of Sikhi in a theological context and that of, say, past deities within Hinduism is very different. They always have a deity that is placed upon a throne. From a holy word, Vishnu is born. From Vishnu is born Shiva. From the forehead of Vishnu. From the navel of Vishnu comes Brahma. They're born from the word. They're both Bindi Roop and Nadi Roop. It shows the differences. While Sri Guru Nanak Dev is saying, no, Vaheguru is not that way. The Vaheguru is great. Tapya na jai. Tapya means to be placed, to be installed. He hasn't been placed or installed in any way. And that is, where they're talking about that, they're talking about the holy word. Through the holy word, God has not been installed upon his seat. And Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji then continue.
Kita na hoy.
At the same time, they say God is not born. The term here, kita. Kita is a term used to say born, an offspring. Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji is saying here that God is not born from another. He is not created from another. He is not subject to birth in any way. He was self-created. Gurbani says, "Tum jo kahte ko nandan, nanda so nandan ka ko re." So they're saying, Gurbani states that those people that say that you were born from Nand, they're completely wrong. And Nand here is the term given for the adoptive father of Krishna. So here Gurbani is saying that Krishna is not God, because God is not born from another. At the same time, there are many people out there, Sanatanis, who read Gurbani and say, look, this Gurbani is about Krishna, it's about this, it's about that. But damningly, Gurbani says there that you weren't born from another. God was not born from another. And those people that consider you the son of Nand, they're completely wrong. It isn't the case. So here Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji is saying, look, God is neither installed through the Holy Word, and you are not born from another. Instead, you are completely separate to that. The other thing that you would have is, if God was born from someone, then there would be a lineage. Then who was that person born from? And then who is that person born from? Does that make these individuals greater than God? Now, this is a problem that some religious concepts have. Taking back to the Greek theory, the Greek theory says that the Titans came into existence. From the Titans, the great Titan Kronos gave birth to the Olympian gods, and then the Olympian gods, namely Zeus and his siblings, they then spearheaded a war against the Titans, and then he won. But again, if you look at that theory, they deem Zeus to be the greatest god, but he has a father in Kronos as the Titans. But then again, who was Kronos born from? And that sort of way it doesn't work, the theory doesn't work. And that's what somebody has to look at there. They have to realise that if there was another that God was created from, then he would be named. And who is he? Where is he? And when was he born? And how powerful must he have been in order to give birth to God? So Guru Nanak Dev Ji say no to the idea from the start, to say God was born, he's self-created. He is not born from the Holy Word, and he is not born from another. And Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji then continue.
Ape aap niranjan soy.
Right, this is here Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji are answering the other question. They're saying, is God Swatantar or Patantar? Is he independent or is he dependent? And Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji say, Ape aap niranjan soy. They say God, in his own divine will, came into existence, and he does not need anybody else's wishes or desires to do anything within creation. It is all according to his own will. And due to this, God is not dependent upon anything. He is not dependent upon the beings of this universe. He is not dependent on the aspects of reality. He is not dependent on the philosophy of anything. He is independent to everything. Whether you believe in him or don't believe in him, he is completely independent. And Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji has asked this same line, Ape Aap Niranjan Soy, comes again and again for a couple of definitions. Because the first question there was, is God Satantar or Patantar? Is he independent or dependent? And then the next question that Guru Nanak Dev Ji was asked was, is God created using Maya, the veil of Maya, or is he created and exempt from the veil of Maya? And Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji state,
Ape aap niranjan soy.
And Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji say that the form of Vaheguru is Ape aap niranjan soy. Now, the term niranjan means anjan means black, Maya, which means darkness, which means form. And here Vaheguru is saying he is niranjan. He is without Maya. God is without Maya, he is without colour, he is without roop, he is na roop, na rek, na rag, tragun, terpin. In Gurbani it states that God is completely exempt from everything. He is niranjan, which means he is without Maya. He is the clean form. He is the pure form. And Vaheguru is the form of purity, and he is exempt from the illusion of Maya. And he always has been. And in this way, Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji answered the 6 questions that were posed to him right at the start by the Sidhs. So in answering it, God is neither born from the Holy Word, and he is neither born from another. He is completely independent of these two. The second question, is he dependent or independent? God is shown to be independent in every way. And the next question is, was he born through Maya, or is he exempt from Maya? And Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, Ape aap niranjan soy. So God himself is self-created, he is self-aware, and he is niranjan. He is without anjan. He is without darkness. He is without any blemishes. He is completely pure in his form. And for that reason, he is born exempt from Maya, and he does not rely on Maya, which should have been answered in the question before, where they ask, is he dependent or independent? And Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji ask here, they say, okay, these are the 6 questions that have been posed and they've been answered. And then Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji is asked, just as another person is installed on the throne, is that the same for God? And Guru Nanak Dev Ji has already answered this, but they're going to say the same line again, which is Ape Aap Niranjan Soy. And they're saying God is not installed in the same way. God is placed on the throne himself, by himself, and there is no other. There is no person before God. God is the complete form of purity, and he is the only form of purity, and he has remained on that throne ever since. And then Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji is asked,
Jin sevya ten paya man.
Guru Nanak Dev Ji is asked about obviously this purity, and then Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji say Jina sevya ten paya man. So they say those people who meditated upon the name of the Lord, they will reach ten paya man. Here the word man is they will gain respect. They will reach the door of Akal Purkh. They will reach the abode of Akal Purkh. Whether that is internally or externally through Sachkhand or through the Dasandwar, they will gain man. They will gain respect in this world and the world after. And if you look at the Bhagats who are remembered in Gurbani are remembered to this day. They receive respect every day through their utterance, through their discourses, through their Gurbani being read again and again. Sri Guru Gobind Singh Ji asked whilst they were in Anandapur Sahib about the glory of the Bhagats, and they asked at the time, they said, when Bhagat Kabir Ji, who is known throughout the world, was staying in Kanchi and teaching, and he was doing Bhakti all the time to Vaheguru, who was the king at the time? And it ended up being a discussion within the court of Sri Guru Gobind Singh Ji where nobody could answer the question. And Sri Guru Gobind Singh Ji said that at the time it was Lodi, Ibrahim Lodi. Ibrahim Lodi was the king at the time of Bhagat Kabir Ji, but nobody remembers his name. Even though he was famed at the time and lived on this earth, his fame has gone. It is only remembered through Sri Guru Gobind Singh Ji remembering in that Sakhi. Otherwise it would have been lost to time. While the Bhagats, Jina Sevya, Tenapaya Man, they are the ones who have, Jina means those, Sevya, those people who have meditated upon Tenapaya Man, those people who have meditated upon Vaheguru, Paya Man, they have gained respect in this world and the next, and they always will do. And Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji continues,
Nanak gaviye guni nidan.
Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji says here that a person should sing the praises of Vaheguru and his attributes and his virtues, and if a person does this, then they will gain all the virtues themselves and become the Nidan. Nidan here means Khajana. Khajana means treasure trove. The person will become the treasure trove of all the treasures that they require. And the Sidhs have heard this now, and then they ask Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji another question. They say, are we just to sing the praises of God? Is there anything else that we should be doing? And Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji replied to this,
Gaviye, suniye, man rakhiye, pao.
Right, now this pankti is going to get broken up a number of times. There's a number of definitions to give for this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the first definition. The first definition is Gaviye, suniye. So those two things. It says, when a person is to sing the praise of God, they should do it with pao. Pao means love and devotion. A person should have love and devotion upon singing the praises of Vaheguru. And then when they are to listen with their mind, suniye, and then you got the term man in there as well. They are to listen with their mind. Within their mind, they are to have pao. So pao has been it's said once in the line in the pankti, but it means two separate things. Gaviye, pao. A person should sing with love. Suniye, man, and then pao has been said again or used again in a different context. So when a person is listening, with their mind they should have complete devotion. They should have faith upon Vaheguru. And if they do this, then pao, again, is said. Pao, the third term for pao, so the first one is love. The second term for pao is to have faith. And the third term for Pao is respect. And Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji says that if a person is to listen with loving devotion, sing with loving devotion, and if they are to listen whilst adopting faith in the words being said and uttered, then they will gain the illumination of Vaheguru. And so Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji is given that as a definition. Now they go on further, they say, look, there are other definitions for this. You need to understand this. They say Gavya. They say Gavya. So the first thing they say is a person with their voice, with their utterances, should have loving devotion in what they are reciting. And then they say Sonia. Sonia means to have faith here. A person should have faith, and with their faith they should listen to the discourses being uttered, to the Simran being said. When they're uttering Vaheguru, 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 make sure you're listening to it internally and externally as well. Listen to what is being said. And if these two ears that you have of faith, listen to them with those. And if a person is to do this, then within their mind they will learn to understand. And from their understanding they will then gain the time and the opportunity to actually practice those thoughts. Through practicing those thoughts that they have learnt through the discourses and listening with loving devotion, they will gain the illumination internally. So those are two of the definitions given by Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji on Gavya, Suniya, Mana, Rakhiya, Pao. And there are others, but what we'll do in this episode, we'll leave it there, and next time we'll pick up again from where we are. Otherwise we'll go on, we'll have to go on further with the discourse, and the video will become too long. So Kamalpreet Singh, if you could you close this off please, and we'll start again next time. Thank you.
Thapya na jai, kita na hoy, ape aap niranjan soy, jin sevya tin paya maan, nanak gaviye guni nidan, gaviye suniye मन रखिए पाओ, दुख पार हर सुख कर ले जाए, गुरमुख नादन गुरमुख वेदन, गुरमुख रहे समाई, गुर ईश्वर गुर गोरख वर्मा गुर पार्वती माई, जे हो जाना आखा नाही, कहना कथन न जाए, गुरा एक देह बजाई, सबना जिया का एक दाता, सो मैं विसर न जाए।
वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह। हे गोबिंद, हे गोपाल, हे दयाल लाल, प्राणनाथ अनाथ सखे, दीन दर्द निवार, हे समर्थ अगम पूरन, मोहे मया तार, अंधकूप महापयान, नानक पारे अवतार, आए प्रभु शरणागति कृपा निध दयाल, एक अखर हर मन वस्ते नानक होत निहाल, एक अखर हर मन वस्ते नानक होत निहाल। वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह।